Good morning, children. Today our topic is sex-linked inheritance. Chromosomes are the carriers of genes. Genes are present in both autosomes and allosomes. The genes present on the autosomes control the somatic characters, but the genes present on the sex chromosomes control the sex characters. But sometimes, however, certain genes are present on the sex chromosomes, but they control the somatic characters. So the transmission of a body characters from parents to offspring along with the sex chromosomes is known as the sex-linked inheritance. And sex-linked inheritance was described by T.H. Morgan. He is also father of the modern genetics and in Drosophila. Okay, the genes controlling the body characters located on the sex chromosomes are called as the sex-linked genes. Okay, the genes that controls the body characters are present on the sex chromosomes. Now, the body characters are controlled by genes located on the sex chromosomes are called as the sex-linked characters. Okay, these are the following examples to discuss the sex-linked characters in both man and Drosophila. They are color blindness in man, hemophilia in man, and next one eye color in Drosophila. So let us will discuss only few examples. Okay, what are the features are present in sex-linked inheritance? Here there are 5 characters. The body characters controlled by genes. These genes are present on the sex chromosomes are called sex-linked characters. The sex-linked genes are where they are present on the X chromosomes or sometimes Y chromosomes or sometimes both X and Y chromosomes. Okay, most of the sex-linked genes are located on the most genes are present on the X chromosomes and their alleles are absent from the Y chromosomes. Okay, most sex-linked characters are the recessive in nature, not in the dominant nature. And X-linked inheritance follow crisscross inheritance, but that means the characters, how the characters are transferred from one generation to generation in a crisscross manner. It is also known as a zigzag manner. That is, the sex-linked characters are transmitted from the father to the grandson through his daughter. Okay, now what are the types of sex-linked inheritance? There are 5 types: X-linked inheritance, Y-linked inheritance, XY-linked inheritance, completely sex-linked inheritance, and incompletely sex-linked inheritance. Let us know one by one here. X-linked inheritance means certain sex-linked genes are located only on X chromosomes and their alleles are absent in the Y chromosome. These genes are called the X-linked genes. Okay. Now, here those genes are present on the sex chromosomes carries the body characters. The sex-linked genes are present on the X chromosomes. And these characters are controlled by the genes are called X-linked characters. And their mode of inheritance is called the X-linked inheritance. Okay. Example is the color blindness, hemophilia. We'll take only these 2 examples. It is better. One is color blindness, next one is hemophilia. And next one Y-linked inheritance. That means the sex-linked genes are present in the Y chromosomes only. That are called the Y-linked genes, and that characters are linked genes are confined only males only. Hence, they are called the hollandric genes. Holos means a whole and ros means a male. That means that sex-linked genes are present only the Y chromosomes. That's why only the males carries that inheritance characters. Okay, these genes are transmitted directly from the father to the son, and their mode of inheritance is called a Y-linked inheritance. Example is hypotrichosis and ichthyosis. Okay, next one XY-linked inheritance. Certain sex-linked genes are present in both X and Y chromosomes. That's why they are called as the XY-linked genes, and their mode of inheritance is called XY-linked inheritance. Okay, example I can give is nephritis and retinitis pigmentosa. These are the example we can give. And next come to the completely sex-linked inheritance. The X and Y chromosomes are not similar in this case. So what happens? The X chromosome is larger and straight, and but Y chromosome is smaller, and one end is curved. The lower part of the X chromosome is similar to the Y chromosome. Okay, here the lower parts are this X and Y chromosome. The lower parts are the similar. These 2 parts are called the homologous regions. They have same type of genes. When the remaining parts of the X and Y chromosomes are not similar, and these are the one end This is the another one. And the remaining part or remaining ends are not similar. See here, one is a longer, one is a shorter. So these remaining parts or remaining ends of the X and Y chromosomes are not similar. So they are called as a non-homologous regions. See, I will explain here. The two ends are similar, X and Y chromosome, the two ends are similar, so that's why these two parts are known as the homologous parts. And whereas the other ends are not similar, one is long, one is short, and these parts are known as a non-homologous regions. So here in these non-homologous regions, they do not have similar type of genes. The genes located in non-homologous regions inherit together because crossing over does not occur. So here what happens in non-homologous regions, these are the genes are not similar, and at the same time the crossing over does not take place. The crossing over means, what is the crossing over? These are the two chromosomes here. They are connected like this in X-shaped X chasmata. So what happens here? The genes are transmitted from one chromosome to another chromosome. That process is known as a crossing over. This crossing over does not occur in the completely sex-linked inheritance. That's why what happens. So the genes located on non-homologous regions are completely, that means the characters are inherited together. The genes are present in these chromosomes, X chromosomes and Y chromosomes are inherited to the offsprings. Why? Because crossing over does not take place. So the genes located on the non-homologous regions are called completely sex-linked genes, and their inheritance is called the completely sex-linked inheritance. Understood here? In the non-homologous regions, the different genes are present. Crossing over does not taking place. That's why the genes which are responsible for the characters are inherited. Both the characters inherited from the parents to their offspring. That's why there is known as a complete sex-linked inheritance. And next one, incomplete sex-linked inheritance. The genes located on the homologous regions of sex chromosomes do not inherit together because crossing over may occur in these regions. So these genes are called incompletely sex-linked genes, and their mode of inheritance is called incomplete sex-linked inheritance. Example is retinus pigmentosa and nephritis. Okay. And next one, well, let us see examples with sex linkage in Drosophila. It is first discovered by T.H. Morgan. Morgan observed here few white-eyed males in the population of red-eyed. So in the red-eyed individual, he observed the white-eyed males. So how it has happened? So when the white-eyed male is crossed with a normal red-eyed, in the first generation, all the males, all the individuals are the red-eyed. Okay. See here. This is the red-eyed female and this is the male white-eyed parents. Okay. When they met, so what happens? All the are red-eyed only. All the offsprings are the red-eyed. Okay. Next one, what happens? First generation red-eyed females was crossed with a red-eyed male. First of all, white-eyed male with a red-eyed female. And what happens? In the first generation, all the males and females are the red-eyed only. And next, in the first generation, what happens? When the red-eyed female was crossed with a red-eyed male, in the second generation, all the females were red-eyed and 50% male were white-eyed. This pattern of inheritance is called crisscross inheritance, in which a gene is responsible for the white eyes is transmitted from a male parent to a male grandchild through a carrier female of the first generation. Okay, here I will explain here. What happens? This is the female red-eyed and this is the white male. Female red, male white. So when in the first generation, what happens here? It is a dominant, this is a recessive red. See, dominant red recessive. This which recessive gene is present in the male, it is transferred to the females only. Okay, females. So this recessive gene, she is the female daughter. She is the carrier to the grandson. Second generation, grandson of his male parent. So that character is transferred to the grandson in a crisscross crisscross manner. So the recessive, first of all, it is present in the males, and their first generation, what happens here? 50 females are red and males all are the red. All in first generation, all the pupils are the red in color only. But the recessive gene which is present in the father, this recessive gene is carried to the daughter, female daughter. And here all the people offsprings are the red in color only in FN generation. But when this recessive gene is again transmitted to the grandson, that only male parents. So here the characters are transmitted from the parents to grandson through the female child through crisscross manner. Okay, this is a good example here understood in the Drosophila. And let us see same pattern, sex linked inheritance in human beings. Okay, we'll take two only, color blindness, and second one is a hemophilia. Same sex linkage in the pattern of the inheritance that may result from a gene located on either X or Y chromosomes. Here the genes are present on the both X or Y chromosome. A number of sex linked characters are discovered in man. A few are given below. One is the I will explain color blindness and the hemophilia. Okay, it's a very good example. Again, same point you have to giving a few examples. What is that? The recessive gene that is present in the male parent, it is transferred to his children, female children. That female children is become a carrier of that character to the third generation to grandson. That means the characters are present which are present in the parents is transferred to the third generation, that is a grandson, through a first generation only by female child. Okay, next we come to the color blindness. Color blindness is a sex linked character discovered by Wilson in 1911. It is a X-linked recessive genetic disorder. And here retina of the eye in man contains the cells sensitive to red and green color. So in the retina some cells are present. These cells receives the red and green colors. Okay, color blindness affected persons cannot differentiate the red color and green color and also blue color and sometimes all the colors also. And blindness to red color, that means the people cannot recognize the red color. The disease is known as a protonopia. These persons cannot see red color. And next one, blindness to green color is known as a deuteranopia. These persons cannot see green color. Blindness to blue is called titanopia. Such persons cannot see blue color. Okay, so these diseases, color blindness is caused by, again here only the recessive genes represented by C. Okay, the normal persons contain the genes CC, dominant, recessive or dominant single alone. The recessive genes prevent the proper development of color sensitive cells in the retina. Why here this color blindness is appearing is only because of the recessive genes. Okay, recessive genes, and this recessive genes prevents the cells to absorb the color present in the retina. The genes for color blindness are located on the X chromosome. These alleles are absent from the Y chromosome. This character is common in man but rare in women. Okay, when a normal woman having a dominant gene for normal vision, okay, happens to marry a color blind man, okay, color blind man having a only XY, all their daughters get one gene for color blindness from their father, but they receive a dominant gene C from their mother, so they are normal, but they carry the recessive gene in their X chromosomes, so the daughters are called the carriers because they carry the gene for color blindness. Recessive, this is the recessive gene. The sons never get diseases because they receive their X chromosome from the normal mother and the Y chromosome from their father, from which the allelic gene is absent. Okay, now when the carrier woman marries a man with a normal vision, all the daughters and half of the sons have normal vision and other half of the sons are colorblind. Colorblind traits is inherited from a male parent to his grandson through carrier daughter, which is an example of crisscross inheritance. So we explained in the Drosophila, same pattern here also. See here, normal mother, okay, having a genes CC, and here color blind father, he is an infected person, he is having a recessive gene. This is a recessive, this recessive gene is carried to the daughter. Okay, so when this carried daughter, again if she married a normal son, what happens here, she is the carrier person, carries that recessive color blinded father, the recessive gene, which is reason for the color blind father. That gene is carried to the daughter. From the daughter, when this daughter married the normal son, what happens here, the normal man, the carried daughter, only 50%, see these are the males and these are the females, and out of male children 50% are normal, and whereas 50% of the color blindness children or offsprings are produced in the F2 generation. That means here, which is the reason of the recessive gene for the color blindness present in the father is carried to the children. From the children in the first generation, it carries to the second generation. That means it is the grandson in a crisscross inheritance. Okay, this is one example of the sex-linked inheritance in human being. Next one, same example, hemophilia. It was first discovered by John Cotto in 1803. In hemophilic individuals, the normal process of blood clotting is delayed for sometimes. Sometimes the blood fails to clot also. Hence, they bleed continually from the wound. So, hemophilia is also known as the bleeder diseases. Hemophilia is also an example for a sex-linked recessive genetic disorder. It follows the characteristic same crisscross inheritance like that of color blindness. Here, there are three types of hemophilia are found. They are hemophilia A. That means here the affected individual is deficiency of the one factor, that is the eighth factor. That eighth factor is known as the anti-hemophilic globulin. If deficiency of this eighth factor, they have the hemophilia diseases. That type of hemophilia is known as a hemophilia A. And come to the hemophilia B. Here, that is the ninth factor, deficiency of the ninth factor. What is the ninth factor? It is known as a plasma thromboplastin. Due to this factor, they will get hemophilia. That type of people is known as a hemophilia B. And come to the hemophilia C. Here, the 11th factor, due to the deficiency of the 11th factor, the people who will affected by the hemophilia, such type of people are known as a hemophilia C. Okay. Now, hemophilia is caused by the again recessive genes represented by the HH, and the normal condition is due to the dominant gene is a capital H. Same when a normal woman without hemophilia, so this she is female, marries with the hemophilia male person having the hemophilia, all the sons and daughters are normal, but daughter carries the recessive gene. Here she is the normal male woman, he is the infected female father. Okay, male father. When they marry, what happens, all the persons are normal only, but only children carries the one recessive gene which is present in the father. So that's why she is the carrier of that recessive gene which is affected a hemophilic character. See what happens. Hemophilic traits are inherited from the male parent to his grandsons through carrier daughter, which is an example of crisscross pattern of inheritance. This disease appeared as a mutant in Queen Victoria actually, and then from her it was transmitted to her generations. Hence, this disease is common among the royal family of Queen Victoria. So, this disease is also known as a royal diseases. Okay, here actually first of all it is identified and by the scientist known as John Cotto. First of all, it is appeared in the Queen Victoria, his royal family. From her, the disease is transmitted from generation to generation. So, that's why the disease is known as a royal disease. Understood here? No? So, he is a normal mother. This is a hemophilic father. If they marry, all the first generation normal. Okay, normal. There is no hemophilic defect. But the children carries the recessive gene from the father, and she is the carrier to transmit the hemophilic diseases to the grandson. That is in the second generation. So that's why the characters which are present in the parents are carried to the third generation, I mean grandson, through the carrier daughter that are present in the first generation. So these are the few examples present in the sex linked inheritance. Okay.